Hi there, I'm Shane Scott, a franchisee owner of inLIFE Wellness. I have studios in America and Australia, and I'm also with the HQ team here in the US. And today I am sitting down with Mike, a prospect who wants to learn a little bit more about inLIFE Wellness and how to open a studio. Hey Mike, Shane here. How you
Hey,
going?
Shane, I'm doing great. Thank you for taking the time to talk to me today. I got a bunch of questions.
Perfect. Fire away.
Awesome. Hey, let's start with your background. Why did you get into inLIFE? What compelled you to join inLIFE?
Back in Australia about 6 years ago, my wife and I had just had our first baby. She was looking for a Pilates studio to go and teach at. She found inLIFE Wellness, which was about 10, 15 minutes away from where we lived. She became one of the first instructors there. Before you know it, I started teaching there, fell in love with the place, as did my wife. We fell in love with Scott to a degree, right? Like we really liked what he was building. This was his first studio, his first reformer Pilates studio. He's been in the fitness industry for about 25 years. But yeah, so we were looking at what he was building there, and my wife and I really thought, hey, how can we get involved in this business, right? So I think a few months went past. We were chatting with Scott. Before we knew it, we were opening up the first franchise one of the first franchises in Sydney. From there, there's about 55 franchises. So over only a short period of time, Scott's brand, inLIFE Wellness, has exploded. So I think we're inLIFE Wellness in Australia as a reformer boutique studio or whatnot brand is pretty much it's the number one, right? So from there, we had our studio that we opened. It's become a powerhouse, which is amazing. Scott, my wife and I really hit it off, really hit it off. Got a lot of belief in what Scott does, a lot of confidence with his experience and what he's built. Scott reached out to us. He knew that we wanted to really be involved in the brand, like really have our fingerprints on it and kind of be along for the ride. Scott said, hey, I'm going to go to the States. I want you and Joe, who's my wife, to come along with me and help me launch this over here in the States. So we go, you know what? We love it. We love what you're doing. We love what it's about. Let's do it. So we made that decision about 3 years ago. And then it was about 12 months of prep, getting things sorted, visas, finding the right space, building the right partnerships over here. And then, 2 years ago now, we opened, we landed in DFW. And I think a month or two after that, we opened up our first studio. So Joe and I and my wife became the first franchisees in the US. So it's been a good journey so far.
That's awesome. So Scott, the founder, blew it up in Australia. You guys hit it off, came over here to the US. You're the first franchise owner. And I know Dallas is starting to rock. What did Scott build? What makes inLIFE so unique? What is different about? There's a lot of Pilates competition. What makes inLIFE different?
I mean, where do I start? How long have you got? There's a lot of unique selling points about the brand, things that make it unique. The people, right? Like from the jump, the people, whether it's an instructor, whether it's a member, a manager, a franchise owner, Scott himself, just great people, right? First and foremost, is built on a really solid foundation. Culture, right? I know it's a bit of a buzzword, but I really do feel and believe for it to be true that our culture is just different from all those corporates, competitors, fitness brands. I feel like they're built on a very corporate type of feel, whereas we really position ourselves to not be like that. And I think that is such a unique position in the market and something that really just sets us apart. So that would be just one off the bat. We could go into opening a franchise.
Well, let's talk about culture. You hit culture.
Okay, cool.
Because explain that. if you will, corporate versus, I understand inLIFE, and correct me if I'm wrong, to be, more inclusive, more laid back. It welcomes everyone. But you tell me, what is that true?
I mean, that's a great point, right? So, cultures, again, it's all encompassing, right? But if you look at it as a layer, the inclusivity piece, right? Like how we position ourselves in the market is very unique. Scott's got this thing that he likes to say, there's a red ocean, there's a blue ocean. Let's just say the red ocean is 20% of the market. A lot of these fitness brands target this red part of the ocean. Everyone's trying to feed in the red part of the ocean, but guess what? The ocean's big and blue. And that's 80% essentially of the population who don't get marketed towards. They're people that might have never done reformer before. So we've got a lot of people that have never done Pilates, reformer Pilates, that become our members. We've got a lot of people that haven't stepped foot in a gym before, right? And when I had started in the Sydney studio, the first one, I could see what it was and the position that it sat within the market. And it was for everyone else that does not get marketed to, everyone else that doesn't, that are trying to find their third place, trying to find a spot where they belong, trying to find a spot where they feel confident, where they feel comfortable, where they can step foot in the door, and they're welcomed with open arms. You know what I mean? Like it just made so much sense to me from a brand point of view, from a business point of view. You've got so many of these fitness businesses in the market that just target the same person, and that's just not what we do. That's just, and I feel like that's just such a strong position to be within the market.
So that 20%, you say most brands that are very corporate, like Target, that's typically a younger person that's really into fitness, and you see
that'll drop you if another studio opens up down the road that's got all the bells and the whistles. I look at them as being fickle, right? They're essentially there, the lifetime value of a member like that is a lot shorter, right? And also, fluxes in the economy, they're gonna the 18 to 22-year-olds, they're gonna feel it. They'll cancel a membership if they'll feel the pinch essentially. So when you look at our market, it's generally mid 30s to all the way up to 60s, 70s. We've got 70, even 80-year-olds that are in our studios that feel good, and they're getting workouts. And again, that ties into that community piece. They're not going to, if a new studio opens up down the road and it's got all the bells and whistles, they're not going to be, that's not what they're coming for. They couldn't care less. And I just think to myself, you've got 20% of the market, they're all trying to go after the same thing, but their lifetime value of a member is so small, because they're just missing out on just making people feel seen, feel valued, obviously providing a great workout. But I think there's just so much more to it. And I just love the simplicity of just that inclusive aspect of it. I just think is a real defining point of difference.
Amazing. So when you talk about being more inclusive, and you said your age range is from 30 all the way up to 80, which is incredible.
Yeah.
So are your classes a little less intense? Are they more welcoming, more for beginners, all levels? Or what does that look like, because you have such a diverse community of members?
Yeah, again, if you want to talk about unique selling points or unique positions in the market, we're not trying to get you to leave the studio limping or hobbling, out the door. We want the program, how Scott's designed it, because he's built all of these classes, right? Obviously, there's the reformer classes that are on the timetable that you've got autonomy, but essentially the secret sauce, which is within these classes, that's Scott's Scott's effect. And then you got the fusion classes, which are also unique as well, that we offer. But essentially, our members are going to be, from the program, how we set it up, our members are going to be able to come 5, 6, 7 days a week, right? It's low impact. You can get a high intensity. It's accessible for your 80-year-olds, your 30-year-olds. So all the classes on the timetable, anyone can book into. You can dial it up, dial it down. It's just really good. The philosophy is we just want you to be able to move your body and feel good doing it.
And that's caught on there in Dallas. You said you opened the first location 2 years ago?
Yeah.
How many locations are there in Dallas now for inLIFE?
We've got 7 open, but I'm about to open up another one in just under 2 weeks. I'm going to open up another one in just under 10 weeks. And then I'm going to open up another one in under 12 weeks. So that's just me. There's also others that are in the pipeline that are going to be opened up within a similar period of time as well. So yeah,
it's amazing. So you're going to have 4 locations. You opened the first one 2 years ago, but you yourself have 3 more cooking in the next. I mean, they're going to open successively in the next 6 to 9 months.
My studios will all be open within the next 6 months. Probably within the next 4 months, to be fair. So yeah, they're all around the corner. They're in their pre-sales at the moment. So yeah, no, they're coming along, just building out the teams at the moment. But the one that's going to open in 10 days, we're already ready to rock and roll. That's ready. We're just kind of sitting there waiting to be opened. We're just running some beginner classes at the moment.
So talk to me, Shane, about does corporate help you? How did you find these locations? What's that process like?
Yes, so I've opened up a few studios now, and I've had assistant support from HQ all along the way. So the whole process, I've had support, guidance, frameworks to work off. Yeah, it's a really good formula to get the studio open from start to finish. So I came into opening studios with not much of an idea of how to do that, and then from doing my first one and having the support and then the ongoing guidance, I'm able to now. I don't want to say do it with my eyes closed, but I've got a lot of support. It's a pretty solid formula. So yeah, got the support there.
So there's a framework you mentioned, which means you have all the site criteria. Corporate helps you evaluate the locations and make sure it's a good location. Like, describe that to me. What is a typical size of a studio? How many reformers are in a typical studio?
Cool. So a typical size of a studio is about 1,800 square feet. Now, you can go a little bit smaller. The studio that I'm about to open in just under 2 weeks is about 1,715, but essentially you could go anywhere between the 1,700 square feet to the 2,200 square feet. 1,800 we find is really good shape. Go off of that. You'd be wanting to look at around 16 reformers. You could go 14 reformers. You could go 18 reformers, but essentially 16 is nice and clean.
So 1,800 square feet, that's a good number because there's a lot of locations that fall into those parameters. So yeah, that's great. Now, in terms of like the build-out cost, the cost of the reformers combined with the build-out cost, what's your startup cost looking like for a typical studio?
Okay, so you're going to land at the 200K mark, right? That's when it's all said and done. You might need to kick in or add in initial outlay might be 230 to 250, but we've got a thing which is called TI, right? So it's tenant income investment allowance rather. And that means when we're going and we're helping you negotiate your lease, right? So we find a second gen space, we make sure it ticks all the boxes. We go into the lease negotiation and we say, hey, we're going to go into this and we want a certain number for the fit out contribution. And that's something that the landlord's going to kick in. That usually lands back in your account anywhere from 7 to 30 days post opening. So when that money comes back into the account, then you landed around the 200K outlay mark for a studio.
And that's the one you're in has costs. That's the one you're about to open as costs. Is that what you're projecting for the
Yes.
other two locations that you have? So you're
Yeah.
going to land all those right around there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's a tidy formula, and again, if we go back to talking unique selling points or whatnot, it is. I'm not sure how much research you've done in the market, but we sit very, very low in terms of getting a studio open compared to a lot of other fitness brands.
Yeah, I think just in Pilates, your competitors can easily double that number.
Yeah, if not more, if not higher, if I'm being honest. Then you start doubling those numbers, tripling those numbers. That's a lot. That's a lot to be able to outlay, right? I don't, it's a big ask, big investment. Trying to get the your ROI on that as well. It's just a lot. It's a lot to be doing.
So from signing the lease to opening, how long is that typically?
From signing the lease to opening. All right. So I'll give you a little bit of an idea, right? So we have someone that's interested. We have a prospect, someone that's interested, and they really believe in what we do, and they want to find a site. I'll speak to them, or Scott will speak to them, because again, I'm in HQ now, so I'm helping people find the right location, going through the formula, making sure everything's just where we need it to be. We look for a site that could take from a week to 2 to 3 weeks. We find the site that so we narrow it down. Right, we get a short list, we narrow it down, we find the site. This is the site that we want to draft up an LOI, which is a letter of intent. We make sure we fine tooth comb it. We go through it, make sure it's all good. We send that LOI through to the landlord or to the agent that's representing the landlord. They come back to us maybe with a counter. Generally, it's pretty clean because we've got a pretty good gauge of kind of what they're wanting as well. From there, we agree on terms, get a contract drawn up through with an attorney. We've got an attorney that looks after all of our leases, so they know what we're looking for. They know what to pick out, anything that they need a red line, which is cool. They draft up the contract. We make sure everything's good. Contract gets signed, and then we discuss the opening date, right? So we discuss when the pre-sale timeline is going to begin and when we want to open. So we'll have a few weeks to kind of go over that and make sure we're all comfortable, get everything, all the T's crossed and the I's dotted, make sure we're all ready to go. So introductions to the marketing team, introductions to the sales team, introductions to our marketing, our head of marketing within the brand as well. Make sure everything's all set up, everything's tested, so everything's ready to go, and then we start our 16-week pre-sale process.
Awesome, and let's talk about that. I got definitely questions about that. But from the lease signing to opening, how many months would you say on average for your locations or anyone that's open in Dallas?
Let's say 5 months.
5 months. So from signing a lease to opening, 5 months.
So it could be less. It could be less, right? It could be you could go 18 weeks. It's essentially a 16-week pre-opening campaign, right? It just depends the appetite, right? We could get that lease signed and get a quick turnaround within a week, get everything ready to rock and roll. Just make sure we run the right tests to make sure everything's set up, and then we could go straight into the pre-sale. But 150 days, which is 5 months, is nice and clean.
And so 4 months of that, right? Did I do that right? 16 weeks?
Yeah.
Is the pre-sale. Correct. And the pre-sale, you guys have a magical pre-sale, because a 16-week process is where you guys are selling memberships before you even open. And so you basically are getting a ton of people to join. And so when you guys open on day one, you have all these members already signed up. What does that look like? Like, you're using a marketing company, a sales company? What's the goal of number of people you're trying to have on day one?
Okay, so again, it's another unique position that we've got in the market, right? We've got great teams, got a wealth of experience, and we've got things dialed in. So we do the introductions to our partners, the sales team, and our partners, the digital marketing or advertising agency, right? They've worked with us.
Provides these companies for an owner.
Yes. So we do the introductions, and our partners have worked with us across all of our studio openings. They know what they do. They specialize in what they specialize in, and it essentially, right? So we start our pre-sale. The sales team are doing the outreach. The marketing team have got all the ads ready to rock and roll. They start together. That 16-week process is essentially the foundation of opening your studio in a position, getting your studio to open in a position where you have hit the ground running, right? You're not in a position. You're in a very strong position when you're starting and you're opening your studio. What that looks like on a number basis, we get you to 210 members, if not more. I mean, we're averaging, if let's be honest, we're averaging around 248 members, 249 members with our pre-sale, which are really strong numbers. But again, our numbers have only started to increase as we get even more visibility, brand knowledge throughout the market here in the States. Because you got to remember, we've been here for 2 years. That number is just increasing. If I can let you know the number that we're opening my studio in 2 weeks, so it's still doing pre-sale now, and it only ramps up the closer that you get. We're at 320 signups. So wow. Yeah, and again, as I mentioned, it only ramps up. So within the next week or two, the ad spend's just going to dial up. People are going to be obviously, because we're opening, we're about to open. People are going to be even more interested in securing that foundation membership.
And so those numbers are amazing, frankly, right out of the gates. If you're talking 250, you're talking your location over 300, and the goal, I understand, is to target an average member. You want them to spend about $150 a month.
Correct.
So, walking into opening day with 250, 300 members already spending, they signed up $150 a month. That is rocketing sales right out of the gate, and should make any prospect feel fantastic walking into inLIFE.
Yeah, so obviously I've done this a few times now. So yeah, it's very exciting for me to be a part of these successful openings. We've got another studio that's about to open in 4 weeks, and it was one of our members, right? She just loved what we were doing, and she wanted to get involved, and she went into pre-sale, let's just say 12 weeks ago now. And yeah, she's about to open about 4 or 5. She's about to be at 300 members too. So, and like, again, she has no prior experience in fitness. She's had the guidance, the support from the team here at HQ, obviously with our external partners as well, leading the charge. But yeah, no, it's great. It's yeah, I wouldn't want to be doing anything else.
So that's a great question. Like, someone that doesn't have a fitness background, they can still become a successful inLIFE franchise owner?
Yeah, the framework's there, right? So you've got the framework and you've got the support. The business model works. They can. There's a lot of studio owners that have come from within the network, where they've been a member. They may have become an instructor, and they've said, "Hey, this is a great opportunity. I want to open a studio." But then, equally to that, we've had people from all different industries that are just wanting a change. They're wanting more flexibility in their life. They're wanting to be a part of something that they believe in, something that's helping people. And again, I mentioned just kind of who we are and what we do, and also the accessibility to be able to open up your own studio and own the whole thing, right? Is just really appealing. So yeah, and then again, you layer onto that they've got proven business model. They're going to be in a, they're going to essentially be in a position where, like, a really strong position from the day that they open. It's a relatively quick turnaround. Like, to get these businesses up and running, it doesn't really take that long. The upskilling, you've got I don't want to say the hand holding, but you've got the support from HQ. You've got the external partners that this is their bread and butter. They know what they're doing. They know what they're good at. Sales, marketing. It's all essentially set up from the jump, and it is a process where we're empowering the owner, right? The owners learning as they're going along too, and yeah, it's a nice cadence, and yeah, it's good. It's good.
So again, opening 5 months from lease signing, 4 months of that is the pre-sale process. You get hundreds of members to sign up before day one. How do you open on day one and have enough instructors? How do you find good instructors so that you're in a position when you open, you can service 200 plus members?
So there's a few ways we go about that. When we do our digital advertising, right, we'll allocate a little bit of that spend to ads to get instructors, right? So generally, like, what we've found historically, when we open up studios in areas, we'll get people reaching out just directly saying, "Hey, I can't believe that you're opening a studio in my area. I'm a Pilates instructor. I've been looking for places to teach, or I've really loved the brands." And then they'll send in their credentials, and then we'll chat with them. We'll also have our ads running looking for instructors, so we'll get a lot of bites through there as well. And then what we can do from an HQ level is, so my partner, my wife Jo, she runs the education. So we actually certify instructors through inLIFE Wellness, right? So we can go and run training days, workshops, complete weekends where we do instructor workshops where we get however many people in. We run them for free. We get them to come in. We can certify if we need it, if there's people that are wanting to get certified. And essentially, you're pulling people in through these ads. People are generally reaching out directly, and then we can come in as inLIFE Wellness and run complete training days and get teach people the secret sauce, and build out a team, and essentially have your team ready to go 4 to 6 weeks out from opening date.
So I have no background in Pilates, but inLIFE does this whole process for me, trains and certifies instructors so that I'm ready to go with. How many instructors on day one do I need to service? 250 people.
How many instructors? Oh, you could go anywhere from 8 to 12, maybe 8 to 12. Even a little bit more. You could go 13, but again, it's a very simple model. You're going to have 50 something classes on your schedule. You just need to be able to balance it with, however you do your blocks. But yeah, anywhere from 8 to 12 or 13. But that's not too hard. That's pretty easy. I think we usually get around 200 candidates, and then what we do is we really refine it, break it down. Or I think if we're about 4 to 6 weeks out, and we have, let's just go 15 candidates. If we've got 15 from there, and you've got your WhatsApp chat set up, you've got your schedule done, you've got some people that can do covers, where everyone's working, everyone's got a good balance throughout the schedule, everyone's got the classes that they want, you're in a good position. You're in a really good spot.
So that's great. It's not that hard to find 8 to 13 instructors to service 250 plus members, how you just outlined it. So looking at a franchise owner, you help them through the entire process. You help them find a location, negotiate the lease, start the 14-week process before opening, get hundreds, 200, 250, 300 members signed up. You help a franchisee train the instructors. So 8 to 13 instructors is not a big issue on day one. We're open. What is the life of a franchise owner look like from that point on?
That it really depends on the appetite of the owner, right? So we've got owners that like to be really hands-on. So they could be taking classes themselves, being the kind of the head of the studio. What their day-to-day would look like is, look, the business is set up on a very simple, it's the simplicity is what we want, because we want our owners to not be getting stressed out. We want just the business as a whole to be just really strong foundationally, right? So let's just look at an owner that's really in the business. They could be working for anywhere from 15 to 20, 25 hours, or 15 to 20, 25 hours a week. But that is if they're doing classes as well. So they're doing classes. They're, just making sure the culture within the studio is good. Maybe they're doing a little bit of cleaning. I mean, you could get a cleaner as well. That's not too expensive. But their day-to-day is signing into a system that we use, just checking comms. That could take you, an hour a day. That's not really that hard to do that, or really time consuming, which again is a real important piece. I think, from Scott, from the top down, he's really, really big on owners, instructors, managers, just having a really balanced lifestyle. So they're not getting stressed out by work.
So that owner, like you said, is more hands-on and servicing the role of the manager. What
Yes.
if an owner says and wants to grow rapidly, kind of like you did? So in that case, that owner would put managers in place, and the manager would do those duties. What does the life of an owner that has managers in place look like? Like, how much are they working?
I mean, they could be an owner that's opted to do that, right? They'd have a manager in place, and I mean, they'd be checking in. They could check in every day. That could take 20 minutes to an hour, 20 minutes, let's just say, to a day, just kind of checking in, saying everything's good. But even moving from that, right, those check-ins daily, they start to kind of become maybe more just weekly, just checking in. Hey, the numbers, updates on like anything that's important that I need to know as an owner who is more removed from the day-to-day operations. I've got a studio back in Australia now, and I check in with the manager bi-weekly, so every 2 weeks. And again, that's just the manager knows what they're doing. I do think that there is something, again, from the top down, from Scott. There's a lot of autonomy. We're big on the foundations are set to run the studio. It's a simple model to run. You get the right person to run things here. It's not a laborious job. You'd need to be checking in with them, maybe once a week.
Wow. So an owner can focus on growing just like you're doing.
Exactly. And that's it, right? Like I've got managers in place at all of my studios, and that allows me to be able to look for new sites, be able to go and find new opportunities, and be able to grow and scale and just kind of live a lifestyle that I want as well,
You've been doing this for a while, inLIFE, in Australia, now in the US. You're growing rapidly. What keeps you excited about it? What keeps you getting up and saying, I'm going to, continue doing inLIFE? What do you love about it?
I mean, I love the people, right? I mean, first and foremost, I love the people that I work with. I love the people that we look after. Changing lives, helping people is really important to me, right? And the brand just attracts just beautiful people, just amazing people. And I really think there is something to, being able to help that 80% of the market that might be a little bit intimidated going into a gym and might not feel seen. It's really powerful. It's really, really powerful. I've met beautiful people in every studio I've been in. It's really special. That first and foremost is really important to me. What else excites me about this is, helping people, the member, the instructor, the owner journey is amazing. Seeing people go through that process and become owners, being able to support them and help them grow, help them achieve goals. Like that studio that's about to open in 4 to 5 weeks, and they're getting close to 300 members. That's really special to me. being able to see them kick goals. You know, it's really quite nice. Beyond that, I think that as a brand, we came here 2 years ago. My wife and I, Scott and his wife Lauren, and you know, I'd never been to America before, right? And a lot of people here, and I feel like we've seen this growth, and being a part of that, right? Because we're growing even faster than Australia, and Australia is growing really fast. Being a part of that and just seeing where it takes us, like the next 24 months, I'm really excited for, and being able to head that and lead that and help people go across the states, help people open studios. I think that's just really something that I'm passionate about, and yeah, it's cool. It's good. It's fun. You're working with good people. I just think that there's a lot to say when you're just surrounded by good people, working with them, helping them. It's good.
That's amazing. Thank you again for your time today and answering my questions. One last question. In 5 to 10 years, where do you see yourself as a franchise owner? What's your ultimate goal?
Oh, my ultimate goal. I just want to keep growing. I want to keep growing my studios, right? Like I just want to keep adding and adding and adding to my studios. I feel like we've got management in place who have really grown into their roles as well. And it's like almost finding more work for them as well, in the sense of like being able to provide more opportunities for them to grow within what we're doing. I think by the end of the year, we'll have just my wife and I will own 6 studios together. You know, I want to get to 10, and within the next 5 to 10 years, I'd love to have those numbers just even higher. It's a great business model, you know, to run, to be a part of. I don't see why we can't just keep doing it, just going across the states. I wouldn't mind, you know, going to Florida to open up a studio, going to New Jersey to open up a studio in New York, California, and just meeting more cool people, and just kind of getting around the states. I think 5 to 10 years, that'd be the goal.
It's going to be a large number of studios.
Yeah, I know.
Shane, thank you very much. Great talking with you today. Thanks for answering all my questions.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it.